Welcome, ladies and gents, to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. I received a gift of mushrooms from a really good friend. Shout out to you. And originally, I was actually going to save them for this transit. I got them like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I'm going to wait until the moon is in Pisces to use them. I ended up not being patient and just eating them. It was a very amazing trip that I awakened a bit more. Like I peeled another layer off, which was the intention. But yeah, there's a reason why I wanted to wait until this transit. This transit is going to be one of the most magically potent transits that we will experience this year. All right. I could say that confidently. There's so much about this transit over the next 48 hours that's going to quintessentially change every single one of your beliefs about who you are, and most importantly, about who you feel you are and what your powers and energy signature feel like. I'm so excited to break this down because the metaphysical science and mechanics behind this are bonkers, literally bonkers. So the first thing I want to speak on is when I say that everything you believe will be changed about yourself, we are referencing Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in astrology brings with it a totality. Saturn in Aquarius is a total knowledge. Saturn in Capricorn is total authority and power. Saturn and Pisces are the total beliefs, the totality of every belief that has ever existed and can ever exist. Every single narrative, belief that is held by a collective is what is being under review in this audit. This is the mechanics behind the end of the literal world as you know it. And if you're looking for an apocalyptic scenario where you see the movie 2012 and everything getting flooded and killed, then you don't know what you're looking for. That most likely is going to happen with the North Node in Aries coming out of Aries while Saturn and Neptune meet at the end of Pisces, which is still like a year and a half from now. What this is going to look like right now are the foundations of a corrupt foundation, or the foundations of a corrupt collective and civilization that has been creaking and crumbling with Pluto and Cap. Now we're seeing that weight give out under itself in this first period. Imagine the last decade, we saw the cracks appearing on what would have been an otherwise stable structure. And now with the Saturn and Pisces, the cracks are crumbling. And you're starting to see the effects of the uneven nature of what Saturn tests, integrity or a lack thereof. That being said, Saturn in Pisces is crystallizing every single belief you've ever had. And to the extent that these beliefs don't align with you, that's why Saturn is bringing them up. You can hate on Saturn all you want. You could say it's Satan, it's evil. It's just a fucking planet, y'all. It represents the totality. And really, you can blame the devil all day, but it's you and your heart that gets judged on that scale with the feather. And, just make sure you don't lie to yourself and make those excuses to yourself. And mind you, Saturn was in Virgo 2008 and left 2010. So we're completing all of the social issues that were heavy around then when Obama had just gotten elected and began to shift a lot of, current affairs and events with his administration, and not just him, but everyone since then. So I just wanted to kind of break that down. Saturn in Pisces represents the end of the world, period. 30-year cycle, but with Neptune that hasn't been here since the 1800s, and Pluto that's going back into Aqua that hasn't been there since the 1700s, it's getting historic and, impending revolution. So it's a fancy way of saying you have less than 2 years to get your shit together, because we're entering a period where a lot of the governing authority, a lot of the rules and regulations will not exist. In one sense, due in light to new regulations, new financial changes in currency, and another because of a growing population of people who, similar to the 1700s, didn't like a ruling elite force, taxing them without representation. It's happening again, y'all. All right, and fuck the IRS. Anyway, other than that, this moon is ninth house to the Cancer sun. Ninth house signature is not only a Sagittarius signature of vision, but the ninth house is the house of God. It's the house of comedy. All right. Hence the philosophical association when we set the way of our life relative to the third house of attitude and mindset and the sixth house of behavior and routine. Obviously, the way you think is going to create your lifestyle and your behavior is going to contribute to your philosophical approach. The ninth house of God here is exalting and ascending the nature with which, with the moon, you are feeling the higher meaning of the beliefs that constitute what it is you feel and who it is you are. So, given that the activation and integration phase come in 3 phases, so does the harvest. This case was moon in Capricorn, moon in Aquarius, and now the effect of this harvest is the moon in Pisces. Ladies and gentlemen, this is everything you've been waiting for. The conjunction to Saturn, the subsequent conjunction to Neptune is going to actively blossom the superpowers that you have spent the past 2.5 weeks activating and integrating. And the reason why this is important is the moon in Pisces is helping you understand the metaphysical process behind which not just psychic ability, but the new download pack of supernatural abilities you have since not only downloaded, but now uploaded and installed. All right, or installed and uploaded. This moon in Pisces transit is showing you, ninth house, the effect, Pisces, of the harvest process of moon in Cap and moon in Aqua. Hence, you've used your superpowers. Moon in Aqua gave you the knowledge of what superpowers you're using. And now moon in Pisces is helping you understand what belief process and reasoning to come up with relative to this utilization of superpowers. You're coming into the knowledge that you used. This is going to give you the experiential understanding of what the fuck you've been doing. Okay, and let's go a little bit deeper into this. If the mutable sign is the effect, then everything that you've harvested over the past 4 days, you're now understanding the full experience of it. The connection with Saturn literally initiates a new conjunction cycle over the next 28 days to harness this total Saturn understanding moon of the full perspective and reasoning behind. Whereas the moon in Virgo helped you understand how your abilities work, the moon in Pisces is helping you understand why they work. And with the ninth house implications, this will connect you with relative beliefs to some kind of deity or God or the concept of God or whatever religious bullshit tends to just take over your soul. Because Pisces has a very amazing quality to just take you over with illusions and dreams. Everyone wants their dream to come true, no? Anyway, what is really, really key about this, before the moon goes over Neptune and inundates you with the LSD-like experience, even if you're sober, to pretty much just hopefully disillusion you. It's just some people would just get more delusional. This Saturn placement is adjusting your focus like on a Canon camera. And because Cancer sees into the unseen, because their ninth house of vision is metaphysical Pisces, they don't see through their physical sight. You can't physically see a ghost. Anyone who tells you that is a liar. By the way, tip your boy. I'm on a walk right now. If you want me to buy some coffee or anything, you fuck with me. It is not necessary. Really, you could just pray for me. Give me a magic spell. Show me some love. But you could tip me too. Link in the description box below. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in my bio. You will see the tip jar. Other than that, though, what's very, very, very key is we do not see the metaphysical through physical sight. Okay, Astrology teaches us the science of seeing the metaphysical is through the function of feelings, your psychic sense. You sense and feel it. And this, of course, gives you the vision through your imagination. The malleable nature of imagination is that no one's going to imagine the same thing because it's not a concrete substance. So the way an image comes to me in imagination may not come to you. And that, of course, makes the reliability of it as a science kind of not helpful until you realize that life is a literal dream. And so everything that you see physically, you don't see the same thing other people see, just like a dream, just like your imagination. And if you want proof of this, I'm looking right anyone in your vicinity to describe what the color red looks like, without using another color to describe it. You're gonna find it's impossible. People are looking at the same color, but they cannot describe what they're seeing. So it doesn't mean you don't see it. It means your incapability to describe a color without using the color opens up the fact that maybe because we can't even put it into words, the way I'm seeing it may not necessarily be the way you're seeing it. All right, I'm not saying that that's the case, but it opens up that possibility similar to what you may be imagining, since everything is just energy condensed down physically, and this thing's truly physical, hence it being an illusion. Anyway, this isn't locally real anyway, but this total understanding with Saturn is adjusting your perspective relative to recent utilization of new superpowers that's similar to someone who didn't believe, Pisces is I believe, someone who didn't believe they can fly and then they actually end up levitating. Now they start to believe, wow, I can fly. A transit like this is really just showing market growth and improvement. If you've only believed you can run a 10-second 100 meter, well, you've used your superpowers, which in this case is just another harvesting of growth in your being, and now you can run an 8-second 100. Now what you believe you can do is different, and the way you feel what you believe you do is more enhanced. It's the simplest version of this transit. So you're understanding, however, the metaphysical nature, the unseen dynamics with Saturn anchoring down a crystallized reality of tapping into this, of not only what constitutes the causality and effects of what you feel, but you're going to be able to tie in synchronistic events that enable you the greatest level of understanding. Let's talk about the mutable signs. Gemini is experimentation. It is idea creation. It is literally just thinking. Virgo is analysis. After you experiment, you must analyze the data that you gathered in Gemini. Sagittarius synthesizes meaning, because just because you analyze facts doesn't mean you know the truth. Someone can analyze that there were 3 cupcakes in the room, and so they'll think that, well, that means there were 3 people in the room. Truth is, there was just one fat motherfucker, okay? And that's how meaning can get in the way of facts. Meaning lets you know the meaning of the word in a definition. If Gemini is the word, Sagittarius is the meaning. And so that leads Pisces. If Pisces is Virgo is analysis, Pisces is reasoning. Remember, Virgo answers how, Pisces answers why. What is the reasoning behind this? If you take all 3 elements of the mutable, it wraps around Pisces. So we're understanding the reasoning of what? Your super psychic power. With Mercury and the Sun in Cancer, this transit is going to give you the experience of using your fucking new superpowers. So even though you've already done it the past 4 days, this is where you start to understand the experience and the reasoning of, oh, this is why this is happening. And I think this is going to be one of the most inspirational transits, because it's going to really remind you that I believe I can fly. You get all that shit. Cool. I believe that I can moonwalk across the sky and teleport and levitate and make you like and subscribe and share this video if you haven't already. Great period to study the law of assumption and to practice it rather. Literally just inundate your imagination as if you're in the end state you want to be in, and just live there. Be super fish-tarded and prepare to see miracles, because the trine and Neptune The conjunction Neptune and sextile to Taurus, you're gonna really, really, really feel all this. Godspeed, y'all. Peace.